Welcome back, Deadbeats. Good to see you guys again. I hope you tuned into our part one of the hero's journey where we did the first four cards there. Before I jump into the official reading here, too, just a recap of some things that I've kind of got in the works. If you guys want to catch me at some stuff, some things I'd like to see you there, if you can make it to any one of these things. So, biggest thing is on August 17th, I am doing a birthday celebration with my good friend Lydia James over there at Passion Project. We are teaming up to do a Summerween birthday event because we're both Leos and we want to do some fundraisers for our business and also have some fun with the community. It is open invite. It is a $10 admission, but guess what? That $10 admission comes with a reading from yours truly. We're going to have some fun little treats and gifts and things there too. We're going to do a little bit of a candy, I don't know if you call it a scavenger hunt, something along those lines there too. We're going to have also fun little candies and things that you guys can get from a lot of our vendors there. They're going to be selling a lot of their wares, their crafts, jewelry, art. Check out those. You can check out the Instagram at Irish_wake_tarot for a lot of those featured artists we're going to be having there. You can also follow at Passion Project RVA as well. To check out my co-host space. Again, that's a nice little artist space there, where not only do we have people selling, paintings, drawings, illustrations, and lots of other cool, really awesome, cool, crazy projects there too, but we also want to make it a space for performers, such as myself, whether you want to debut films, things along those lines, whether you're a musician and want to be there for some open mics, if you're a stand-up comedian, we have a lot of those things available there too. But again, it's a $10 admission. August 17th is the event. Tickets are available for pre-sale if you want to buy those in a link down below. I have that information ready to go. I'm also back at the Poe Museum this month. It's been a couple months. I've missed it. I miss you guys. I love doing those on happy hours. It's miserable time from 6 to 9. So that is going to be coming up here hold on, I got my information right here. Sorry, guys. I'm so bad at this here. Oh gosh, where is it here? So it's the Thursday in August here. That is going to be Thursday. I think it's August 22nd, June. Oh my God, thank you guys for bearing with me. I'm a hot mess. What can I say? But it is going to be on August, 22nd. Thank you. Miserable time from 6 to 9, Thursday, August 22nd. So that'll be shortly after the Summerween event with Lydia and I on August 17th. So check out both those items there. Tickets are also available. And then I am also on August 29th going to be over at River City Roll again. We're picking back up the 804 Fest, so I'll be doing tarot readings. If you guys want to get your bowling on, have some drinks, have some appetizers, enjoy some live music. And again, there's a lot of featured artists there too. Some people you catch at the Summerween event, possibly some new faces and things there as well. But definitely want to see all those things. Anything you can make there. And August 20th is my birthday. If you guys feel like making a donation because you can't make any of these events or just want to kind of support my cause here, I appreciate that as well. My Cash App and my Venmo are below. I'd really appreciate the support on there too. Or even if you just want to support me in the simplest, most free sense, the easiest thing you do is like and subscribe here. That also helps me in a big bad way too. But I appreciate all the love and support, and you guys just tuning back in. And like I mentioned last time, we did part one of the hero's journey. So we pulled the first four cards. We had the King of Pentacles, which is sort of the your existence, your world, your current state of things, sort of the everyday before you hit that call to action or dramatic intrusion. So we had the King of Pentacles for that first card. Then the call to action or dramatic intrusion, or whatever you want to call this bad boy, was the Four of Cups, followed by the Ace of Swords for our refusal of the call, which may have a little bit of hesitancy, some reluctance, or maybe just a little bit of level-headedness, maybe a little bit of logic, a little practicality, because, when we're going on a hero's journey, we got to think a little logically wherever possible. Can't just have our head in the clouds and think everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows and easy from there. And then last but not least, we do have our mentor, our Mr. Feeney, our Dumbledore, our Gandalf, our Obi-Wan, any leader, teacher on there that is available for those things there. And that was our Chariot, our big, powerful momentum, thing that keeps us moving and driving forward. So do keep all those things in mind. I do hope you check out the first video here. Again, this is a powerful writing tool. It adds a little narrative to your own life. Really helps you kind of lay some things out. What things can you work on? What obstacles are you dealing with? Who you are, what you have to offer, and what big, exciting adventures await you ahead. So we're going to pull our next 4 cards here that are available, just getting everything kind of shuffled for you guys. So those next cards after that's going to be entering the threshold. So where the journey really kind of takes off, where bigger, better things kind of happen, where you put that big bad foot forward and decide what is the next move. What do you do? What's the big play that you're having that needs to be played out in your story? Then after that, we are followed by our tests, our allies, our enemies, a lot of those other things that kind of come out through the woodwork. And then after that, we're going to take a little bit look inward. We're going to enter that cave. We're going to look really introspectively what fears, big anxieties might be holding us back. What's something deep down inside that's lurking, that's causing all these extra problems and things that do become these hassles right before we encounter the ordeal, the big conflict, the big showdown, the war, if you were, the big battle, maybe the big baddie, depending on what things you're kind of really facing with these things. So we're going to take these all in stride and move forward, but please feel free to follow along. I had some notes in the comments if you guys have any questions, concerns, thoughts, additions, corrections even. This is just stuff I've kind of pulled from, again, the Joseph Campbell writing tool, and a lot of my own research interpretations on there. But as you know, at tarot, there's multiple interpretations, and there's room for everything here. So, all right, I think we are all shuffled. I think we are all ready to go. I'm excited. I'm ready to keep doing this. I think it's big time during this Leo season here to really kind of delve into these big things too. And we're approaching the Lion's Gate on the 8th, which is coming up real soon too. So maybe we kind of factor a lot of these thoughts, concerns, considerations into that, because again, that's a big, powerful time for us. A lot of big things happen. It's Leo season. I hope you guys had a wonderful Llamas or Lunasa, depending how you like to pronounce it, and I hope you're kicking off your Halloween season. All right, I'm rambling. I'm stalling. I keep saying without further ado, and here I am wasting more of your time here. No, I'm wasting any time. We're getting all the good stuff, right? All right, let's keep moving here. All right, what do we got? So, first card is going to be our threshold, and so that's going to be the Ten of Pentacles. And I like this. This is one of my favorite cards, and I do kind of say that with a lot of cards, but there's 78 cards in this deck, and so there's a lot of different favorites in here. If you notice with this Ten of Pentacles here, there's a nice big family that's kind of pictured in this whole image here, and that's one of the many reasons I do really like this card, because I think it's great to have that picture of a family. We can define a family however we see fit. It doesn't have to be a husband and wife. It could be a husband and husband, a wife and a wife. It could just be if you're the poly thing, cool, that's awesome too. Multiple genders, multiple identities there. Lots of different role models, caretakers, paternal, maternal figures in their own way, bringing the divine masculine, bringing the divine feminine. Children don't have to be traditional children. It can be pets, a bunch of dogs, a bunch of cats, a bunch of animals of all types, rabbits, parrots, turtles, snakes, whatever you're into, whatever you kind of define as your own personal family. These can also just be friends, collective of friends. We don't have to have necessarily kids in the picture. That's fine. Kids aren't for everybody. Pets aren't for everybody. We can just be a collective of adults who like to gather, celebrate traditions, celebrate special occasions, anniversaries, birthdays. Hey, not an intentional plug, but I'll take it. We can dive into all these fun, good things. And this can even just be a world that we've created for ourselves. And one of the reasons I really do enjoy the Ten of Pentacles beyond the Ten of Cups is, well, Ten of Cups is an abundance of, love, the heart, happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment. I like to think this is kind of the closure. This is it all really manifesting, because as we do know with these pentacles there, that it is earth energy. It's real hard earned, hard won, actual manifestations. It takes time to create it. It's the slowest moving energy, because it has to be physically made, it has to be physically able to be touched, to be seen, to be witnessed, to be walking, talking, moving. It's breathing that full life into it. And if we're starting with the King of Pentacles, this is them taking their energies and creating that abundance. Like we said, they're investors, they're creators, they're idea people, they're movers, shakers. They make things happen, even if it takes a little bit of time for those things to come into fruition. We do develop those realities. We do create them. We do manifest them. We allow them to take shape and hold. And it's good. It's proof of our efforts, of the time and energy that we're putting in. We deserve to see those things created and made for us. And it says, "I am successful and I share my wealth with those I love." I am successful and I share my wealth with those I love. One more time. I am successful and I share my wealth with those I love. And I think this, as that threshold, is reminding ourselves again, even starting with these King of Pentacles, because that is us. That is the protagonist, you, the individual, the person who is going on this journey, who is diving into these thoughts, these feelings, these fears, these everything, all of it, all of the above, and reminding us that we do have things to offer, whether that is with our friends, whether that is with our family, whether that is with our art, our career, our projects, our ideas, any of these things. So don't sell yourself short. Again, a reminder, you are starting on this King of Pentacles and you do have things to offer there. And we may be dwelling in that Four of Cups energy of missing something, but don't forget, it has that rainbow emanating from the cup there, which is a lot of powerful magic that's at our disposal. We want to make sure we're diving into those things and exploring those things. And the mind might come in, and that refusal of the call. Am I doing the right things? Am I making the right moves? Am I capable? Am I smart enough, strong enough? Can I do all of these things? And this reminds you that you got to dive into that abundance. It may not always turn out the way that we expect, but we're going to learn things. We're going to allow things to happen. Even with this abundance, it can feel overwhelming and it can feel daunting. It can feel problematic. It can feel like there is a lot of things to contend with. Abundance is good, but it can be overwhelming. Even if we want to talk about it from a financial standpoint, how do I balance all this money? How do I make sure I'm appropriating, or I'm sorry, dispersing these things into the right needs, necessities? What is making the most sense? But don't let that hold you back. That threshold is about taking that leap of faith. It is about engaging in an opportunity for better or worse. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, but we're going to learn those good lessons. We've got that Chariot as our mentor, remind us to just keep going no matter what it is. If you got to bob and weave, to figure out how to get there, how to dodge a lot of these things, just know that if you have your affairs in order, you have your sights set on things, and you're full steam ahead, you can't lose. Even if it's a setback, even if it's a failure, even if it's a struggle, even if there's a lot of problems, worries, anxieties, things that come with it, these are all part and parcel with the journey, all a big part of it. All right, we're going to move on to our tests. This could be a combination of our allies as well as our enemies. And this is a very good point for us to look at the highs and lows specifically at this card, because it is kind of a mixed thing. And the funny thing is, it's a very, very fitting card for that. We have the Seven of Cups here. I hope you guys can see that all right. And 7, I say, is probably one of the most complicated numbers in tarot. It can be associated with luck, fortune, success, victories on there, but it also can be tied to deceptions, worries, concerns, failures, mistakes, competition, struggles, a lot of those things. And that's why I think in its simplest sense, it's about options and choices. Because if you look very closely, this individual right there, they're contemplating. They're looking at all these cups here. What do they have to offer? Good things, bad things. And there's sort of this misty feeling throughout all of them too. And that's where sometimes, especially with the Seven of Cups, it can be associated with having your head in the clouds. Whether it's good things, bad things. They say the one thing that all of these different cups truly have in common is that they haven't manifested yet. They haven't transpired. So we can have those lofty big goals in there and want the fun and exciting things. As I'm planning this birthday event, I'm sitting here be like, oh my gosh, I want it to be a success. And what if it is perfect? And I hope it is. And I want everybody having a good time. And I want people to show up. And I want to, be able to make some money off of this thing. While we are doing it as like a labor of love and a passion project, intended, one's for you, Lydia. It is also at the same time worrisome, concerning, troubling. Am I wasting my money? Am I wasting my time? What if nobody shows up? What if nobody likes me? What if people make fun of this thing? What if someone writes a review about how bad it all is? Ugh. In the same way I can be so excited. What if they write amazing reviews and love it forever? I need to take a step back and remind myself, what can I be doing to help this cause? What things can I be creating? What good energy, what good loving energies can I contribute? And why did I get into this in the first place? To have some fun, to have some entertainment. So until these things, for better or worse, start to manifest ourselves, we owe it to ourselves to slow down and focus. I even watched my last video and I was like, oh my God, I'm talking a mile a minute, which I know is me. And throughout a lot of my career, especially with a lot of call calibrations or reviews or feedback, like, you're talking too quick, you're doing too much. Even back in my theater days, I was at a habit of like rushing through these things, rushing, moving. And I think it's because, I wanted them to succeed. I wanted them to do really well. And I have a lot of that nervous, anxious energy that, I'm not taking time to breathe it in and feel it. And especially as an actor, developing a scene on there, you need to feel through it. You need to allow it to breathe. So those emotions, those feelings, those thoughts, those choices can really kind of take the shape that they need to. And I think those enemies and those allies speak for themselves, is that the good and bad things can be both deceptive and enemies in big bad ways. And the allies is taking that time to take a step back and take a stock of inventory. What do I have to offer? What things have I done? What things am I capable of? What things could I be capable of? What things could I be emphasizing more? And then just allow them to fall as they may. And it sucks. It sucks no matter what. It is terrible. It's frustrating. It's confusing. It's aggravating. And our patience will rile up, especially when we feel like we're just getting punched in the face or punched in the gut over and over again. And believe me, I understand those failures. I feel them constantly as I'm applying for jobs. I get these lofty ideals. Here we go. This is the one. This is the thing that makes sense. And, I get rejections or I get ghosted. Same with dating. Same with friends. Same with plans in general. Even just trying to have a quiet, peaceful day. But I could sit back and I can enjoy it, as hard as that might be. Or I find a new way to enjoy it. Or I find a way to walk away and enjoy something else. But take it for what it's worth. Really enjoy what you can, as hard as that is. And if you're not enjoying anything, find something to enjoy. Go get yourself a little ice cream. Take a break. Go watch a movie. Do what you can. If you can't do that right now, you find some time and then you make that the thing you look forward to. Hey, that's a little break I got on the horizon. You deserve those breaks. You absolutely do. It says, my wildest imagination is a tool that I can use to inform my future in a down-to-earth way. My wildest imagination is a tool that I can use to inform my future in a down-to-earth way. Let's do it one more time. My wildest imagination is a tool that I can use to inform my future in a down-to-earth way. And it's a big thing I get from people. They always really want me to predict the future for them. Not everybody. Some people realize I can't. I personally think that that's a very challenging thing to do. I'm not trying to hate on anyone's gifts, talents, and the world is a weird place and stranger things have happened. But I think part of the future or manifestation process, if people really want to do that, is about making your own future as best as possible, because there's always going to be factors out of our control. There's always going to be things that help or hinder the process there, but it is up to us to decide, what is a future I want and what can I do to set myself up for that success as much as possible, and then accepting the chips where they fall. Easier said than done. I'm not great about it myself, but please do heed my advice. I have to tell myself this constantly because I think it's important. All right, we're going to move on to entering the cave. We're kind of looking inward. What is our fears, our doubts and concerns? It's very complimentary of this Seven of Cups card there too, Um, and we have the Five of Cups. So we're dealing with those emotional waters, emotional conflicts. Five is a number of conflict, and it's concerning and it's troubling. And what's wild here too is this individual. I used to hate the Five of Cups in a lot of other decks, but one of the many reasons I love this Lightseer deck is, again, I find it to be a very neutral, healthy interpretation of a lot of these things here too. And I like that it's very contemplative in this point because we're dealing with these caves, and I like to think of Star Wars, challenging it the most, where Luke is in the cave and his fears that he, kills Vader, and inside the Vader mask is his own face, his own head. He says, "Oh my God, what if I become Vader?" That's the real fear. Not about defeating him. It's about going down that path, that challenge. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's actually before he even finds out Vader's his father, which is like a whole another can of worms too. But I think for here is, what if it doesn't work out? What if I end up disappointed? What if I end up heartbroken? What if I go right back to that Four of Cups again? Oh, crying over spilled milk, missing out on these opportunities. And I get that. I have these fears and anxieties myself all the dang time. All the time, I promise you. As I'm applying for jobs, as I'm, asking a girl out, as I'm going on a date, as I'm making new friends, as I'm working on a new project, as I'm investing in things. It's a very, very, very valid fear and concern. But I think it's in the face of that adversity, those fears, those anxieties, those worries, those doubts, that we still trudge on, that we do work through these things. We are building a powerful future for ourselves. I mean, we're on a hero's journey. The hero gives up when they're scared. What kind of hero is that? Hey, look, we got our faithful familiar Winston's coming along to help support us here too. Which is a reminder too that King of Pentacles does have the dog by its side, so we can even go literal with our allies and our supportive energies and lean towards those things, or go get ourselves some nice healthy therapy. I believe in that stuff. Oh my God, I wouldn't trade my therapist for the world. But find that help and support wherever you can with it, and remind yourself that you're putting very fragile part of your body out there, and you're taking a big chance, and you're taking a big risk, and that's okay. Because I think the fact that we are scared or worried means that we are doing something important for ourselves, maybe for the world. I have a terrible, terrible nervous stomach. I even get horrible performance anxiety for a dude with a theater degree and a guy that loves performing, especially as a Leo. And I was telling myself, if I don't get those butterflies in my stomach, then I'm kind of doing something a little too easy for myself. I used to hate horror movies, and I sometimes have trouble getting on roller coasters and things like that. But every time I push myself to do those things, I'm always so glad that I did. Even if it sucks, even if it was scary, even if I didn't ultimately have fun, I'm glad I challenged myself to be better, stronger, conquer my fears. And with that, it says, "My tender heart helps me navigate toward my bright future." I love that. The affirmation is the thing that really, really sold me on this card for this deck. It says, "My tender heart helps me navigate toward my bright future." My tender heart helps me navigate toward my bright future. And if we take the Two of Cups on there, about a healthy balance, a give and take in the things that we're doing, relationships, projects, careers, friends, family, what have you. And then you take the Three of Cups, which is about a community, a supporting energy, even a time of discovery and learning, a little bit of awkwardness. And you combine those two, you get that Five of Cups, which comes with its conflict. But 5 is followed by 6, which is a number of a greater, more powerful victory. And an emotional victory is great. Sometimes that comes with some nostalgia. We look back, we miss some things. But we learn those powerful, powerful lessons, and we heal from the past. We grow, develop. Let's keep it moving here. All right, here's the conflict, the ordeal, as it's referred to. The big, big moment, whether it's fighting the big boss, whether it's going to war, whatever we're contending with. And we have the Two of Swords, which, again, I like to think of the swords as the mind. Again, we want to keep our mind sharp, much like we want to keep our swords sharp, decide what's right for us, which ones we want to pick up, which things we want to contend with, how we want to focus our time, our energy, most importantly, our thoughts there. And it's interesting because there's a blindfold over the woman's eyes in this picture here too, and she's got these crows in it. But many people that I've given this card to, as this Two of Swords, has noticed that she doesn't seem bothered by it, and that's great, because I think if we've conquered our fear, we've looked inward, we've dealt with these mental battles, then we know how to make the wise decision for ourselves. Some people see it as, hey, let me take the blindfold off and look at them and take them for face value, and that's fine too. I think it's great. I think it's the original kind of conceit with the card there too, and you should. Don't blind yourself to the situations there, but also by removing our eyes, if you will, we have to feel around. We have to be a lot more delicate. Our other senses increase. We learn about a lot of these things, and you even think about kind of using your fingers, which is a big thing the blind have to kind of do, right between Braille, understanding, seeing things sort of in their mind's eye, if you will, to that level, is, if you're feeling that blade, you're determining its sharpness, and you understand every inch of it because you have to, by struggling with those things, by figuring out what it is that the blade has to offer, what's good for us, what's necessary, how's it going to function, what's it going to do. And I think that is going to take us to that next step that we need. We're going to be able to face this ordeal. We're going to be able to make these big decisions for ourselves. Do I stay? Do I go? What's the next step? Where do I proceed? What do I have happen? And we balance the mind. We help our decisions find a leveling point. And I think that's good. I don't want to rush this along. I know I've rambled a lot in here too, but I think it really does speak for itself. And we'll delve a little bit further as we kind of pick up the next phase of this reading here, the third part of our trilogy here too. And after our conflict is the reward, claiming our sword, the tool that we've walked away from this battle with. And it's kind of fitting we end with the Two of Swords because it's kind of our nice little cliffhanger with it all. But it does say, when blinded by the unknown, I trust myself to move toward the light. When blinded by the unknown, I can trust myself to move toward the light. When blinded by the unknown, I can trust myself to move toward the light. That means our intuition is shaped. It's reminding ourselves of the experiences that we've built, the things that we've endured, that we took this opportunity for abundance and we dove headfirst into it. And while it may come with its challenges and its obstacles and its worries and its concerns, that we weren't afraid of the emotional conflict that we might be left with. We weren't letting the fears, the doubts, the unknown results rule us because we know we're moving towards that light. We've got a lot of big, powerful things here. Check out everything I got down below here for the events, guys. I'd love to see at any one of those. Really appreciating donations if you want to cash out or Venmo me there too. Also available for parties, weddings, events. Halloween's on the horizon, so book me early if you can. It means a lot to me. Grab those tickets. We'd love to see you at the birthday bash especially, but I'll happily see you guys at any time you want to catch me on any of those things. Also available for private readings. I have $10 digital readings, $30 Zoom. It goes up from there depending on the other readings. This year's journey does start at $50 digital, $75 on Zoom, $100 on site there. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys sticking around here. I love doing what I do. A lot of the world doesn't make sense, and I'm going through my own trials here, but doing this, seeing anyone, even the tiniest person paying attention, means the world to me. I love and appreciate you guys. And as always, Sláinte.